F1 drivers are trained to stay calm, right? Well, not always.
That's what you get when you don't leave the space.
All the time you have to leave the space.
These are F1's most disrespectful radio moments.
What the are we doing here?
Charles Leclerc!
No!
Let's start with some lighter ones to warm up. You know when you try to be chill with someone,
Daddy, chill.
but somehow you only ever run into each other at the worst possible moments? Yeah, that was Leclerc and Magnussen in 2018. That year, those two seemed to run into each other on track all the time. And no, not exactly in the best possible way. Their first run-in happened in Spain, when Magnussen blocked Leclerc and instantly sent him into rage mode.
From his roll up and he stays on the line, and every time it's him, every time.
So, it's not that bad, right? Well, just wait until you see what happened later in Japan, because Leclerc completely let it all out.
Oh, he's hit it.
Magnussen is and will always be stupid.
And honestly, during this time in F1, Magnussen was definitely one of the drivers who caused the most chaos, and picked up the most, let's say, little gifts over the radio. Magnussen was one of those drivers who could be insanely fast when he wanted, but he always came out with that kamikaze side, which, let's be honest, made the races way more exciting. The Dane also had plenty of radio exchanges with none other than the father of us all. The first one came in Malaysia 2017, when they were fighting on track.
To defend himself against Alonso. Alonso waits for him to finally pick his position, dives down the inside. Magnussen then fights him back, and they do touch. And in the end, Kevin Magnussen has to yield there.
What an idiot. Hulkenberg is right.
And I'm pretty sure you already know what Hulk said to him.
Once again, most automotive drivers said, yeah, they're really good, man.
But those weren't the only messages Nano had for K-Mag, because the following year at Silverstone, they crossed paths again. And even though Alonso started off calm, he ended up exposing him in front of everyone.
What I see from Magnussen I never saw in my life.
The one who never wasted time explaining why he was sending each little gift. Juan Pablo Montoya. If he had something to say, he said it straight.
You know, you gotta either be blind or stupid to not see me, but, you know, it's racing.
Raikkonen learned the hard way in Spa 2002, when he didn't even have time to get out of Montoya's way in qualifying.
What a idiot.
Another guy who absolutely never keeps his mouth shut is Alonso. And I'm not talking about when a rookie or some random driver annoys him. No. Alonso goes for everyone. Even Sir Lewis Hamilton himself. At Spa 2022, after they touched on lap 1, Fernando dropped one of the most disrespectful lines you can possibly say to another driver.
The Leclerc chicane, and they make contact.
Yeah, always. What an idiot. Closing the door from the outside. I mean, we had a mega start, but this guy only knows how to drive starting first.
Wow, now that's the kind of radio I live for. Savage, painful, and full of spice. Just like what I'd say to you if I knew you weren't following the channel. And yeah, later Alonso tried to play it down. Heat of the moment, blah blah blah. But let's be honest, the damage was already done. And speaking of damage, let me introduce today's sponsor, Car Vertical. If F1 has taught us anything, it's that data matters. And when it comes to buying a used car, it really matters. Car Vertical is a service that lets you check a car's full history using the VIN number. They gather and process data from over 900 global sources across more than 25 countries and turn a very complex process into a report that's actually easy to understand. Using a Car Vertical report, you can see if a car has had previous damage, if the mileage was rolled back, whether it was stolen, and what equipment originally came with it. In some cases, you can even see photos of the car after an accident. The car looks fine today, but the report clearly shows accident history, mileage issues, and damage photos, the kind of details sellers don't usually bring up on their own.
If you buy a Car Vertical report and it comes back without any findings,
your credits are automatically refunded, so there's no risk. So before you buy a used car and get an unpleasant surprise later, make sure you check it first. Use my code DailyFuelUp to get 20% off your Car Vertical report. The link is in the description and pinned comment, and it automatically applies the discount. Coming back to the video, at this point you already know Alonso on the radio is built different. The man hasn't exactly made a lot of friends over the years. One of his most memorable victims was Jolly and Palmer in Italy 2017, when they had a little on-track run-in.
Close, this is Alonso and Palmer.
What Palmer is doing? He needs to give me back the position.
Palmer has a 5-second penalty.
5 seconds, it's a joke. A joke.
And this is what he said when he later found out the Brits had retired from the race.
It's Palmer.
And Fernando Palmer has retired.
Karma.
Let's now take Miami 2023, where during free practice, he randomly decided to send a little love letter to his old team Alpine. And yeah, this is how he did it.
That's a joke. Alpine, they fight in the free practice, but the free practice at the moment. It's good.
Like, was that really necessary? But if you think only other drivers or teams were his victims, you're very wrong. Honestly, Alonso's favorite target is friendly fire. During his McLaren Honda era, the team was such a disaster that El Nano just could not stop attacking them over the radio. I mean, how could we ever forget this?
Into turn one, Verstappen on Alonso, and there he is.
Or this.
The engine was going much slower than before.
Or the moment when he just completely stopped caring about whatever they were telling him.
Try 3 times, please, Fernando.
I try already, so try yourself.
And my absolute favourite, Hungary 2018. By then, he was so fed up with the team that he just didn't give a damn about anything and just roasted his engineer left and right.
Fernando, do you think we should do a new set of inters or wets? New inters or wets?
I think we should go to the garage.
It would be only for one time lap at the end. It would be one at the end.
I don't know, mate. Put whatever tire you want. Even if you put a rocket ship, we will be 11.
Seriously, if you were an engineer or a mechanic, how do you even go to bed that night after that? I mean, okay, at least with drivers, in the heat of the moment, they can lose their temper and say things they shouldn't. But what if the one insulting you is a team principal? And obviously, for this to happen, you have to be none other than Nikita Mazepin. At the 2021 Spanish GP, he got absolutely cooked by none other than Toto Wolff, like this.
Michael, blue flags. Michael, this guy makes us lose the position.
But honestly, compared to what people were saying about him while he was in F1, that was actually pretty mild, because literally the entire grid complained about him all the time. Mazepin even managed to completely snap Giovinazzi.
What Mazepin is doing, honestly?
Even the one and only Go-Tifi.
This guy's a
Perez.
Oh, these bloody idiots.
Leclerc.
Mazepin will never change.
And even Strulovic.
Mazepin has no idea what he's doing.
And yep, when Go-Tifi and Stroll are insulting you, I think it's safe to say your future is officially buried.
I have lost my contract to compete in the Formula 1 World Championship this year.
But Mazepin wasn't and won't be the only one wanted out of the way. Back in China 2015, when Raikkonen was trying to get past a McLaren, he didn't hide anything on the radio.
Come on, get that McLaren out of the way.
Obviously, Kimi never kept anything to himself, and if he had something to say, he said it.
Yes, please. Keep working on.
Yes, I'm doing all the time. We don't have to remind everything.
And in that same spirit, we can see it today with Max, who also doesn't hold anything back.
Go back with this setting. We keep saying I can't change it.
And it's not just his rivals that catch the smoke. His own team does too when they mess it up, like in Austin 2021 after a painfully slow pit stop.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Or even himself, like in Singapore 2025 when he messed up the gears and just went off on the radio.
Nice. Stupid double shift I had. My god, I'm an idiot.
And following Max's example, there's one guy we're really gonna miss, Tsunoda. Seriously, the Japanese lad doesn't let anything slide. How could we ever forget when he got slapped with a €40,000 fine for saying this in Austria?
No, these guys are Yuki, don't worry. Don't worry. Plenty of time.
Honestly, I think I've heard Yuki's radio get censored more times than not. And I think the worst part isn't even how disrespectful he can be to his rivals. I think the real victim is his own race engineer.
Push flat out. Shut up!
Offset 5. Build it up under braking. You can do it.
Are you trying to crush me or what?
And of course, when it comes to the rest of the grid, he doesn't hold back at all. Quite the opposite. He always takes the chance to drop some
traffic, bro.
Yuki, driver swap. Driver swap.
Are you kidding me now? That's fast. That's fast at all.
As you probably know by now, what goes around comes around. Yuki can go around insulting everyone wherever he goes, but people talk about him too. One of the most brutal messages I remember aimed at him was Bottas's in Austria 2021 after Yuki blocked him in qualifying. Honestly, it's not exactly what you'd expect from such a chill driver like Bottas.
That's right. Good thinking.
One of my favourites on the radio is Sainz.
Smooth operator, smooth.
A chill and funny guy on and off the track, and his radio messages, of course, are brutally honest. The one that definitely broke a few hearts in Maranello was at Silverstone 2022, when he absolutely exposed the team's incompetence live in front of everyone. After a safety car in the final laps, the rest of the race was basically going to be a sprint, with Leclerc in P1 and Sainz right behind him, followed by Hamilton and Perez, who was smelling blood. Even though Leclerc was leading, the pit strategy actually favoured Sainz, who was on much fresher tyres. But of course, seconds before the restart, the Prancing Horse engineers jumped on the radio and told Sainz to leave a gap to Leclerc and defend.
The instruction is to give 10 car lengths to Charles and some breathing space. So Sainz has been told that the priority is to defend from Hamilton.
If he'd actually followed that masterpiece of a plan, the Mercedes and the Red Bull would have chewed up both Ferraris and spat him out. And that's when Carlos dropped this absolute banger on the radio.
But guys, I'm under pressure from Hamilton. Please don't ask these things. Please. Let's say stop inventing. Stop inventing.
Roasting his own team and proving once again just how clueless they were.
For the first time in Formula One, Carlos Sainz is victorious.
Disrespectful towards his own team, too honest, call it whatever you want. That's how he ended up getting his first F1 win, once again leaving Ferrari looking silly. Because sure, one thing is disrespecting your own team, however you want to label it, but going against your own teammate, yeah, it doesn't get much worse than that. Awkward doesn't even begin to cover it. And that's exactly what we got with Vettel and Webber at Red Bull. Turkey 2010, both fighting for the win, until boom, this happened.
Oh, did they come together? Webber and Vettel come together. Vettel going out, Webber going out. What was going on there?
And while Webber managed to keep going and stay calm, Vettel was out of the race and absolutely lost his mind on the radio.
What the are we doing here? What is stupid action? I'm going home.
Now sure, the most disrespectful radios are usually the ones full of swearing and screaming, but honestly, sometimes the most soul-crushing ones are the subtle ones, and the ultimate example is Germany 2010. Massa was leading, Ferrari wanted Alonso to win to boost the title fight, and they had to tell the Brazilian to get out of the way, like this.
Fernando is faster than you. Can you confirm you understood that message?
Cold, brutal, zero vibes. Massa accepted it, but not without making a point.
Engineer, and guess what's happened? There is a crucial move in the championship. Never mind the race here in Germany.
He slowed down on the straight so everyone in their grandma could see that this wasn't a real overtake, but a straight-up team order. Alonso obviously went on to win the race, and just to make it even better, team orders were actually illegal back then, which is why Ferrari tried to be all sneaky about it. Of course, the FIA investigated, confirmed Ferrari had broken the rules, and slapped them with a $100,000 fine. And because F1 logic is undefeated, by the end of the season the FIA went, whatever, and made team orders legal again for 2011. That's the FIA for you. 1 minute it's all good, the next is chaos. Always switching things up. You know what never changes? The pure chaos, entertainment in my videos. If you like this one, go check out this other gem. And as always, thank you for watching.